Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. We got another shot of cold air making its way in from northwest to southeast this morning. Temperatures already in the teens across the Dakotas down to the Mississippi River, and that cold air is going to be continuing to spread across the eastern Corn Belt as we head through the rest of the day today. Now, checking out the satellite picture, you can kind of make out the cold front right across this region with high pressure on the backside. A lot of sunshine accompanying the colder temperatures across the Corn Belt today. We'll see a chance for some rain on Saturday into Saturday night. Otherwise, looking at a relatively dry next 7 days across the Corn Belt. We'll look at the radar here this morning, and the system that's bringing in the colder temperatures has kicked off a couple of very light showers across the Great Lakes right now into Michigan and Ohio. That'll quickly get out of here as we head through the rest of the morning today. Again, letting us enjoy a dry, sunny, if not chilly Friday across the region. Now, looking at the main story over the next week or so, we're looking at the hazards map on the left. You see the brown and the pink shading here across the high plains. Those are high wind watches, red flag warnings, as we look at some very strong wind gusts coming into the first part of the day on Saturday across the high plains. Now, I expect to see that kind of activity being or those kinds of advisories being issued here downstream across parts of the central and eastern Corn Belt. Certainly from Illinois eastward across Indiana and Ohio, I think we'll see at least some wind advisories, if not some high wind warnings, being issued again as we look at some winds gusting 40 to 60 miles per hour from Illinois eastward into the Great Lakes and the eastern Corn Belt here, much of the Ohio River Valley, as we head through Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, into Sunday morning. And I'm showing you here a map of the peak forecast wind gusts from the European model right now, and again showing those 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible from Illinois on off to the east. We've also got a marginal risk for a couple of strong storms in the Ozarks here, parts of eastern Oklahoma, Arkansas, and southern Missouri, but we could hear some thunder as far north as Wisconsin and Michigan, especially Saturday night. Now, here's the last 7 days of precipitation. This is the storm system that snuck through on Tuesday, bringing some thunderstorms to this region, some severe weather to parts of Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois, even into parts of southern Wisconsin, western Michigan, seeing some of those severe weather reports Tuesday night. We also saw some snow accumulating on the backside here from parts of Nebraska into northwest Iowa, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin, and then a lot of heavy rain across the across the mid-Atlantic over the last 48 to 72 hours. Part of that because of Ada, and then also an upper-level disturbance that kind of parked across the region, bringing a lot of Atlantic moisture to the region. But as we look at the next 7 days, we're looking at a shot of precipitation here Saturday into early Sunday, really Saturday into Saturday night. One that, again, could bring a couple of strong storms to this region, but we could also hear some thunder all the way into parts of the mid-Mississippi Valley, Wisconsin and Michigan, the Great Lakes. There's some thunder possible as we head through Saturday night. Otherwise, we're staring at a pretty quiet next 5 days. This gets out of here by the time we get to the end of the day on Sunday, clearing the eastern Corn Belt. And then that is about it. We'll look at another area of high pressure, another ridge of high pressure sliding in across the central U.S. That'll allow us to quiet down and warm back up across the midsection of the country. Now we'll take a look at the 500 millibar wind speeds here as we get started on Friday morning. This is the disturbance right now that's bringing in the reinforcing shot of cold air and kicking off those very light showers across portions of the Great Lakes here early on Friday morning. This one quickly departs. We'll see a little lull in between here. Again, high pressure, sunny skies, cool temps as we head through our Friday into early Saturday. Now here comes the next wave, screaming across the Rockies and then ejecting into the Central Plains during the day on Saturday. This is the one that brings the high winds first to the high plains on Saturday morning, and then the strong wind gusts as this area flow pressure intensifies and deepens across the Great Lakes, bringing the high winds to the mid-Mississippi Valley, the eastern Corn Belt as we head through Saturday evening, Saturday night, and Sunday morning. Also kicks off the chance for those strong storms across the Ozarks and the chance for some heavier rain, downpours, and maybe some thunder across the mid-Mississippi Valley into the eastern Corn Belt as we head through Saturday night into Sunday morning. Now this one quickly gets out of here. We do get an extended period of pretty strong northwest flow across the central U.S. That's going to keep us a bit chillier, a bit on the cool side. And really, I'm speaking relative to the last 1 to 2 weeks. It's going to keep us really about seasonally appropriate, if not a few degrees cooler than average. We're not talking about any sort of plunge into colder than average temperatures here. It just feels cold because it's been so abnormally warm. As we get into the mid part of next week, though, ridging once again across the midsection of the U.S. That allows warmth to once again build into the midsection of the country. Quiet weather, mild temperatures expected as we head into next week. Now here quickly we'll look at those wind gusts as we head through Saturday into Sunday. We're looking at a wind gust accumulation plot here from the European model, and this will take us into Saturday morning here. You see those winds beginning to gust across the high plains. You see the orange and the red shading. That's where we're talking about wind gusts 40 to 60 miles per hour across the Rockies, down into the Front Range here across parts of eastern Colorado into western Kansas. Now, as we get later into the day on Saturday, this is when the area of low pressure begins to ramp up and intensify across the eastern Corn Belt. And as we get into Saturday evening, Saturday night, Sunday morning, that's when we could see those winds gusting anywhere from 40 to 60 miles per hour from parts of Illinois eastward into Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, parts of the Mid-South, Kentucky, and Tennessee, seeing those very strong wind gusts. So I would imagine if you're living in those states there, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, the Ohio River Valley, the Great Lakes there, don't be surprised if we get those wind advisories or high wind warnings issued for the Saturday into Sunday period. Now we can look at the precipitation that accompanies this. Again, we'll get through a dry Friday. Those light showers in the Great Lakes quickly get out of here by the time we get to the mid-morning hours today. And then as we get into the overnight, we'll see the return feed from the Gulf of Mexico. The low-level jet cranks up. We'll get some scattered showers and storms developing across the Ozarks, Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, southern Missouri as we get to the overnight on Saturday. By the time the sun comes up on Saturday morning, could see some rain and thunderstorm activity spreading up towards St. Louis, getting into southern Illinois, much of Missouri, and then as we go through the later morning hours on Saturday, we'll see this rain and thunderstorm activity spread up toward the Quad Cities and parts of central Illinois. The area of low pressure then begins to develop and intensify rather quickly across the midsection of the U.S. We get that more classic storm system look here as we get into the later hours on Saturday into Saturday evening. And if I just kind of freeze it here right around 10 p.m., 9 or 10 p.m. on Saturday, this is when I think the chance for a couple of strong storms is going to be highest from southern Missouri down into eastern Oklahoma and Arkansas. Just some gusty winds, maybe some small hail. Very, very low chance of an isolated tornado here. I'm not all that convinced we'll see any tornadic activity with this. We could see enough cold air coming in on the backside to change some of these raindrops over to snowflakes late in the event here Saturday night across parts of Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Not talking about much or anything in the way of accumulation. This is just quickly a transition from rain to snow as the storm system pulls away. We'll see the heavy rain and thunderstorm continuing, heavy rain and perhaps some rumbles of thunders here across parts of Illinois, Indiana, Wisconsin, and Michigan as we go through the overnight. This will be midnight on Saturday into Sunday morning now, and then sunrise on Sunday morning. Much of the precipitation now pulling away from the eastern Corn Belt, and I think by the time we get to noon on Sunday, the Corn Belt should be drying out, and much of this should be pushing off across parts of New England. Now we can look a little bit further out with the European model here. This is the European operational run. Again, shower activity pulling out of the Great Lakes this morning, high pressure leading to clear skies and chilly temperatures for many of us through our Friday. And then on the backside here, the high slides off to the east. Remember, we get clockwise flow around that area of high pressure, so we start to get moisture advection on the backside of that as we get into the overnight tonight into Saturday morning. I've already covered the Saturday into Sunday event here pretty well with the high-resolution AM model, but here you go. This is sunset on Saturday, now midnight Sunday, sunrise Sunday, mid-afternoon, and then Sunday evening here. And then we get into Monday. High pressure comes in on the backside. Again, we get that pretty strong northwest flow here. Chilly temperatures here to get the week started. Maybe a couple of flurries across the northern plains. Nothing accumulating here. Just, again, perhaps some snowflakes being squeezed out of whatever moisture we've got in the atmosphere here. But then high pressure builds in as we get into the middle part of the week. And this is one that's, again, going to lead toward a more mild and, again, a quiet pattern across the midsection of the U.S. So over the next 7 days, we do get a swath of precipitation across this region, but that is our Saturday into Sunday storm system. If I take that out and just show you next Monday through Friday, we're looking at another dry, another mild week across the Corn Belt. And again, the reason for that is we look at the 500 millibar height pattern across the U.S. as we head through the weekend. Again, our storm system quickly cuts across the country, leaving us with high pressure in its wake, mild temperatures, and a quiet week ahead. Here's a look at your highs for the day on Friday. Again, cooler air making its way in from west to east as we go through the day today. Warmth already responding on the backside here as, again, the high slides off to the east. Showers and storms accompany the system as it makes its way through Saturday into Sunday. The strong wind gusts, cooler air coming in on the backside Sunday. And then we start to moderate slowly as we head into next week. Have a great Friday, a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you again on Monday morning.